Hi guys, guess where I'm at? I'm in my attic. I didn't even know I had an attic. And I love it in here. It's just really hot. It's really hot. But I was thinking about the videos I posted earlier, and I realized it takes a very special person to understand me. 'Cause I'm very rough edged, you know what I mean? I don't mean to be, but así soy, tú sabes. Hang on. It is so fucking like big up here. I cannot believe this. It's like, I know it's an attic, yes, it's the size of the house, yeah, but it's like really the size of the house. It's fucking crazy. It's the most private spot I can find right now. I like it. But anyways, so I wanted to kind of semi-apologize because I'm not saying sorry for anything I said. It's just the way I say things are a little bit rough sometimes. And I hate that about myself, but I wasn't really brought up with a lot of affection. I'm not too good at being soft. You know what I mean? Sentimental, yes. Emotional, yes, of course. I'm still a woman. But as far as talking, no soy muy, I get misunderstood that way. You know what I mean? I tend to refer to women as bitches. I'm the only girl in my family. You know what I mean? I was raised, it's a defense mechanism that I developed as well when my mom passed and I had nobody really. I did, but you know what I mean? Who's going to help me out? So I had to be tough so that people wouldn't fuck with me. That's just the way I was. It worked for me. It doesn't really work anymore, but nonetheless, it worked for a long time. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm not referring to any clients in particular at all. I'm not here to judge people. If you want to be a homewrecker, you be a homewrecker. That's going to be your karma. Yuck. I saw it. But I'm not talking about any of my clients in particular. We all want what we want. I'm just giving you guys some heads up so that you guys don't suffer. Okay? Having said that, I'm going to talk to you guys about possession. Because I've actually lived a very personal experience with it with a cousin of mine. And for some reason, I'm compelled to share the story. Unfortunately, I didn't know her very well. She's not alive today. She passed away. But, and I don't know the details of the story. It's kind of not spoken of in my family. I can find out if I need to, you know, but I do know that she was possessed. Nobody talks about it, but I know that she was throwing people against the wall. Her sister's no longer alive either. They're both my cousins. They're my grandfather's nieces. My family's amazing, regardless, but I know that they suffered quite a bit. I don't know what went on there. My aunt now passed away a while back, so I can't ask her, my grandpa's sister. But I do know that I would have never known this story had I not been almost possessed myself. But it was, I want to say I was 17 or 16. You know what? It was shortly after I was raped when I was 16 in June. It was in June. Yeah, I was 6. That's how I lost my virginity. So I was 16, and this happened that year in December to me. The possession, not the rape. And so it was short. That may have opened me up to like a lot of vulnerabilities, you know, because it's such an act of fear. It's complete and total fear that you're in. So your defenses are down. Es un susto. You know what I mean? So maybe that, I never thought of that. Anyhow, and that December 22nd is my mother's death anniversary. So that may have all played a part, okay? But what happened to me that night was I was overcome with pure anger. I mean, I'm talking like I turned on everybody in my house. Like I said, it may have been a symptom of, you know, the rape. It could have been a lot of things. But when I realized that it wasn't me was when I could not be near my grandmother or anybody. I didn't want to hurt anybody because I realized that day that I wasn't in control of my actions. And I locked myself in the bathroom, my grandma's bathroom, because I felt like I would hurt whoever came too close to me. And it was really scary. So that night, my girlfriend, one of my best friends, she had a key to my house and she showed up. I kicked her out because I didn't want to hurt anybody. If you've never felt like that, to not be in control, it's one thing to be intoxicated, okay, but to really not know what you are about to do is really, like, you just want it to stop. You know what I mean? It's scary. But, so that was the night. I remember I was sitting under the sink. I have a thing with that. When my mom passed away, I sat under a table. I have a thing with hiding, like in those little spots, you know. And when this happened, I also hid under the sink. The door was locked, but there was so much commotion, you know, and I don't remember too well. It was so long ago. But my ex-husband was there with me. We were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time, and I remember hearing him say, "That's not her. That's not her. She doesn't look like that." And I don't know what he meant by that, but I remember him saying, he was just really serious. He's like, "That's no es Cristina. It's not her." And I don't know how he knew that. But anyways, so after I locked myself in the restroom, I tried to come out, but as soon as I would see them, I would shut the door, you know, because I was saying these awful things. I broke everything in the house. It was bad. June, July, August, September. Yeah, and from, you know, June to December, I didn't think about the rape when the rape happened. I put it out of my head for years. So I don't know if that, you know what I mean? I didn't think about it. I still know that it could have been part of that. But anyways, so I hear my grandma and my grandfather talking, debating, like, we need to tell her, should we call? And I didn't know what they were saying, but I was listening. And then my grandma slipped a phone under the door, and she goes, "Christy, I want you to call this woman." And I was like, "Why?" And then I don't remember the details, but that's when I opened the door and I just listened. And they said, "Tu prima Magdita has been through this." And I don't know what happened, but it's almost like I calmed for a second. Like I was fighting myself. Like it was two of me, you know. And like the part of me that wanted to be normal again wanted to listen. So like I kind of shut that demonic energy that I had on me up for 2 minutes at the most. And that's when they told me that my grandfather's cousin years ago had been possessed, and that she had notebooks and notebooks full of stuff she was writing. And that they had to have her exorcised. And I couldn't believe it. So then I started thinking, is this hereditary? Is this something that happens? It was crazy. And so they got me in touch with the priest who exorcised her. And I had never seen this cousin of mine, believe it or not. It was crazy. I knew who they were, but I wasn't close to my grandfather's side. I was after the fact. Cachita siempre, mi prima. But anyways, so, sorry, I'm trying to figure out like where the restroom, I'm trying to figure out, piece the house together. So I spoke to the priest that night, and his voice, I'll never forget his voice when he said my name. He told me, "Do you believe that you're possessed?" And I said, "I don't know." And he goes, "Well, this stuff is real, and it does happen." And he says, "If you're ready, then I can help you." And then, so I just heard him talk, and then he, I can't remember too much, but I know that he is a Catholic priest, and he told me to call him the next day if I was ready, and if I still felt I needed some kind of exorcism, or I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on it, because I don't remember. I just remember the main parts. There was a priest I spoke with who exorcised my cousin. Never talked to him again. I never called him the next day. But I know my cousin showed up that night. And I remember, I didn't talk to her, but I remember her touching my feet, because I was asleep by the time I finally had fallen asleep, man. But she came in, and I just remember her rubbing like my feet, and she left a Bible there for me, her Bible. And she left a note in it, and we talked once after that. And I always meant to call her, but I felt better after that. Like something, I don't know, it was crazy, but I can find out more details of the story. If you guys are interested in hearing about it, I can find out. She had a brain aneurysm, unfortunately, a few years back. She's not with us anymore physically. And that's unfortunate, because she really changed her life, you know? But I wish I should have asked. I wish I would have called, you know, to find out the details and what had happened. Because it was crazy. Like, it that has never happened to me again at that extent. But it made me wonder, like, is this something that's hereditary? Is it like como una cicatriz, you know what I mean? Like, is it something that is like rooted within the family? I don't know. It was crazy. Mind you, I'm back, I'm sorry. You look at the factors, you know, and venimos, somos cubanos, obviously. There's 3 of them, I think it's 4 of them. He was a police officer, he was a SWAT, okay? The shit that they have lived through was really intense. So I don't know if that played a factor in además de ser cubano. venimos de, that type of magic, and I don't know if they practiced. I don't know, to be honest. My point of this video is that I do see a pattern, okay? Spiritual workers, we have to be so careful because it's tiring, it's exhausting. You have to be cleansing all the time. You get lazy one day, that's it. You know what I mean? Everything has a solution, yeah, but why do you want to take it that far? But I've seen people do videos where I can tell that tan cargado, algo está arriba de ellos. You can tell. It happens to all of us because we're working with so many different kinds of energies and spirits and the exposure, and we're not God, like we cannot be held on this pedestal, because then when things happen, people kind of like look at you like you're crazy. And no, it's not that. It's just we've opened the doors that people think about opening. People, I don't know, but we've opened them, like they're open, and it happens to, I don't know, one normal spiritual worker. Like, we're all a little bit off, you know what I mean? We're all a little bit weird because we've seen so much bullshit, you know what I mean? It's crazy. So it's just important to remember that we're human. So get it together.